everyone, happy Friday. Hope you guys are all enjoying your Friday night. You guys know that I've always loved interacting with you in any way, shape, or form, but mostly through the comments because that is really the only way we can get to know each other. And in interacting with you guys, I guess we've been talking like we're in a relationship. We've been talking, okay, I've been vlogging for a little bit over a year, so there were questions from you guys that I was either putting off or kind of ignoring or just telling myself, oh, I'll go back to that another day. And nothing too personal. Personal questions are for Q&A. These questions I'm referring to are just questions about whenever I mentioned a book I was reading or a movie that I had watched, you guys had questions like, oh, do you have any book recommendations, or can you do a book review? Are you listening to any podcasts, or what music do you listen to? Do you have any movie suggestions? So I wanted to switch up the vlog a little bit today to address some of those questions, and I would love to share with you 3 recommendations: one book, one podcast, and a movie. Okay, kind of unrelated, kind of related. I made a vlog back when I had around 30 or 40,000 subs, and it was mostly about why I believe it's important to stay informed about worldly issues and things going on around you, and making sure to read from different news sources and just soak in as much knowledge as you could. Even if you were in school, try and educate yourself as much as possible, stay as curious as you can, ask deeper questions, and in doing so, this would help you form your own opinions and also help you realize how you would be affected by events in the world, whether it was locally, regionally, or internationally. Anyway, that video was generally more about why I think it's important to stay informed of what's going on around you and how that's going to affect you. Not so much exact recommendations, but if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's linked below. I'm plugging myself again. It's called How I Figured It All Out, and hopefully in soaking up all this knowledge from all kinds of different sources will help you to pave a good road in figuring out what you wanted to do in life, what you were interested in doing in life. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Anyway, in light of what I just discussed, I would love to share with you 3 of my weekly recommendations. These recommendations are all my own. None of them are sponsored. I was not paid to talk about these recommendations. I just wanted to reply to the myriad of questions I've received in a year that I just haven't, about books, music, and movies. Okay, so first, my book recommendation. Anytime someone asks me, Haley, what book do you think I should read? I always say this book. It's called Into Thin Air by Krakauer. It is a nonfiction story about a harrowing and fatal journey of a group of climbers who tried summiting Everest, and on their way back down, they got caught in a awful snowstorm. The writer, Krakauer, was one of the survivors, and he recounts a step-by-step, wrenching, rattling tragedy of this journey. I've read this book about 2 or 3 times now, and the reason why I'm enthralled is because I think climbing Everest is something I would never ever want to do. I think that after reading this book, I think that it's a little, well, to me, this isn't just my opinion, it's pointless, and it's, for lack of a better word, foolish. But what Krakauer conveys about his group of teammates is the twisted psychology of those who are hungry to conquer the mightiest edge of nature. I highly recommend that you dive into this book. It will make you realize how comfortable and amazing it is to just be on your couch. If you're looking for a good book to read, this is my recommendation. Okay, moving on. My second rec for you today is to help spark and fuel your business mindset. It's a podcast from NPR called How I Built This, and I'm just recommending one episode. The episode title is called Vice, SUROOSH Alvi, and it's an interview with SUROOSH Alvi, who is one of the co-founders of Vice, about the inspiring story of how Vice News began. SUROOSH Alvi created the media success after rebounding from a heroin addiction. On top of that, Vice faced bankruptcy several times. If you aren't familiar with Vice, it's a massive youth media empire comprised of websites, TV and documentary production, fashion and film division, book publishing, documentary housing. Their stories and reporting are told through a very gritty and raw experience. Vice is sometimes referred to as alternative media, but if you haven't watched Vice, YouTube it. This particular episode on NPR, How I Built This, is 37 minutes long. You can listen to it when you're cleaning or commuting, I don't know, working out if you want to. That's what I love about podcasts. That's my second recommendation, NPR, How I Built This, Vice, SUROOSH Alvi, for that entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, last recommendation of the day is a movie. For me, watching movies is like my ultimate escape. Movies divert my attention attention to the visual experience and often allow me to release some sort of emotion or relaxes me. Movies are actually my go-to topic of discussion, so if it's the first conversation I'm having with you, I'm probably gonna ask you what your favorite movie is. I'm always looking for a good movie rec too, so if you guys have any good movie recs, please comment below. My movie rec for you today is the movie called Whiplash. It came out in 2014, and it's about this jazz drummer and the relationship he has with this vigorous, almost hostile jazz teacher. So it's really intense. It had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. It's like the complete opposite feeling of La La Land, even though it's the same director, Damien Chazelle. Love him. He won Best Director, by the way, at the Oscars last year for La La Land. If you haven't seen Whiplash, watch it this weekend. And if you like Damien Chazelle, you'll notice that he has a pattern in his movies so far of trying to bring jazz back. Okay, so those are my top 3 recommendations for the day. Please let me know if you start reading Into Thin Air, your thoughts. If you end up listening to the podcast Vice, SUROOSH ALVI on the NPR podcast, or if you end up watching Vice, let me know, comment below. And if you end up watching Whiplash, we can chalk it up. I will talk movies all day, literature all day, I guess too. So that's it. Lastly, before I go, I wanted to inform you that this is the last time I will remind you about the partnership I made with Squarespace. This, by the way, is a sponsored shout out, so my recommendations not sponsored, this is sponsored. Squarespace is a great platform whether you need a domain, a website, or an online store. They have beautiful award-winning templates. It's an all-in-one platform, so there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. The whole domain experience is easy to set up, and if you have any issues at all, their customer support is available 24/7. The best part about Squarespace is it's used by a wide range of creatives and people, whether you're a musician or an artist or a restaurant owner or a small business owner or you can have whatever online store, whatever business you can set up as a website on Squarespace. So for the last reminder, you can start a free trial with this code. And then if you decide to continue with it, you can get 10% off your first purchase. All right, so that is the vlog today. I hope you guys enjoy the recommendations. Let me know what you think. And if you're interested in signing up for Squarespace or just checking it out, make sure to enter my code. Everything is in the description below. I will link all of the recs in the description below too. Always read the description, always read the info. That's it. Happy Friday, you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Sunday. I'll see you whenever. All right, peace. Oh, by the way, I'm using my brother's camera. Can you tell the quality? Is it nicer? My camera's having issues, dude. Look at this, okay? Perfect, brand new, brand spanking new, and then watch. Oh, lens error. Shit, lens fucking error. Ah, technology. All right, guys.